Hello, everybody, and welcome to Essentials.tf. Here we're bringing you poLANd.tf 2025 qualifiers, and I'm Rook, joined here by Wandem as bringing the first game here in the group stage.
Hello, guys. We're back after the new year. How's everyone doing? Everyone in the chat right now, if you type anything other than "I'm doing amazing," oh my god, guys, we need to start locking in. Yeah, how are we doing today, Rook?
Yeah, doing pretty excited. Glad to have my first cast of 2025, and glad to finally get some more, well, games going on the Essentials.tf channel.
Yep. So these qualify games for Poland, we're gonna have a little bit of a LAN back in which, after a very, very successful last year, got some qualifiers going on because we do only have so many computers and so many spots for the teams coming in to that LAN coming up in March. We got some qualifying games here. This is Velo Gaming versus Bloking Hazard. Two teams where I feel like if you look at the names on the server, you probably say like, these are probably relatively even skill level. But Rook, here's the thing. One of these teams is a team, and the other one is 5 players that Lupus would have picked in a pug.
Yeah, I think that does make a big difference, obviously, and take it all the way to LAN. You'd expect them to maybe have a little bit of practice together, but a whole season or more is going to make a huge difference here.
Yeah, this is Matek's squad. He's got it all lined up, and I really do think, like, before we even go into it, before we make any other points about anything that's happening in this game, is that Bloking Hazard should be a bit of a favorite here. I think there are obviously players on the side of Velo Gaming that should take it to them a little bit, that should be able to kind of compete, but I think honestly it is just a bit of a difference in terms of let's say team cohesion here for these two teams. Let's quickly run down the rosters here, because on Bloking Hazard it is Matek, mentioned him already. Then we do have, I believe, KO is playing Medic, Manic and Bevan joining up as well with Triple and Adelos. They are not classed up on the tournament roster, but it is Matek and Theseus on Soldier. Then we got Bevan and Triple on Scouts, of course. And then final player Adelos suiting up on the Demo Man across the side for Velo Gaming. Do you want to take that one away?
Yeah, I mean, over on the Scouts, we got Marv and Cheeseburger. Joining them is Potato and Frenchie over on the Soldiers, and Cyanic on the Demo, joined by Deli, bringing up the rear on that Medic. So looking pretty solid in terms of like quality of player at the very least.
Yeah, these are all players with decent Division 2 experience. Cheeseburger, some people might recognize as Zun, who typed in the chat that he does not agree with the fact that he needs a nickname. So I do believe we can just call him Cheeseburger for the entirety of this game, and there's nothing you can do about it. Big shout out to Deli. He also released very recently a very, very nice little trailer for the LAN, which I'm not sure JMax has to pull up on the stream, but let's just pretend he does at the end of this. If not, he has a little quest to go on while we play. But this is a best of 3. It's a bit of a group round robin as well. We're going to have to see. You need to place top 2 in these groups to automatically qualify. The third place of the groups will then play against each other for the final spot. We are playing for 3 total remaining spots of the LAN, and then unfortunately if you play 4th, 5th, or 6th, I believe, then you are out. Both of these teams, I think you're sort of looking at the quality of the players. I'm actually quite surprised. I think mostly the parity across these teams within this qualifier is actually pretty similar, and I think if you are one of these teams, there is an off chance that you probably could squeak your way in. I think especially maybe a bit more so for Bloking Hazard. This is a bit of a chance, but if you want to make it to LAN, this also really means that every game counts, and that means that this also, I think, Velo Gaming, should Bloking Hazard choose to just kind of not play for some reason, then probably Velo Gaming will be right there, because they are good enough to spot weaknesses and capitalize off of it. So we'll have to see what ends up happening here. I think, Rook, I'm going to put you on the spot, though. Don't have that much time left. Give me some kind of prediction. This is map number 1 of Sunshine. Potentially 2 more coming up. What's happening here on Sunshine? Who's winning?
Well, I think the easy answer is that I think Matek and crew are actually going to be able to take it pretty handily. I agree with you. They've had experience together. They should be comfortable. And I think this is a map where, especially if you're moving as a unit, this mid is really key for that. So I think it's actually going to be so strongly favored them. I'm going to go with, I don't know, let's say like 4-1 or something.
Yeah, I think I agree. This is Sunshine, and I think you're right in the 4-1 over the 5-0. I think Sunshine, one of those maps, it is one of those maps where you just, we've seen it so many times, right? You're just on that last forever. It can be really, really difficult to push. That is if we expect these teams to really be able to hold onto that push successfully. I think I will join you. Something like a 4-1, probably realistic for the side of Bloking Hazard on map number 1, but we're live.
Yeah, it's going to be obviously those rollouts coming on through and trying to set on up, keeping an eye on where those players are coming through. As it looks like it's going to be Valley for the side of Bloking, for Bevan and crew. And Cyanek is going to come out from the choke as they try and set things up. Early jumps to try and take control of that, but Bevan will be able to keep control over mid and even pushes through aggressively to get Prota here. Frenchie is open as well, and that is a brutal opening up of the first round.
It's just it's an early mid where sort of Velo Gaming not quite really in sync with each other at all. It just allows Bloking Hazard to sit back around the enemy Tetris and just let the enemy come to them. They send in a few players, try to get something happen, but you don't find any picks. It just leaves Bloking Hazard with a 3-man advantage. Not quite enough to perhaps get in through the last. It's just one soldier sacking in here. It doesn't quite find much.
No. Matek does actually manage to trigger Cyanic, and that's an important class to take out here. Does mean that they could potentially, well, Bloking Hazard could potentially look for a chance to push on forward, but they don't really have the health, they don't really have the opportunity as Adelos will now start to set up for it to buy them that space, buy them that time. They've got 6 seconds till the respawn. No sentry, no nothing, but is forced back as the soldier gets aggressive, even tries to provide aid, but actually gets air shot. They're going to pop Ubers on both sides. They are going to continue contest for that middle point. Triple really wants to make sure that their med gets out, doesn't get caught here. And they do manage to back out, but they don't find the round.
It's a lot of pressure coming into the Heavy. They do actually manage to find him super late. The Heavy doing so much of the lifting there on that last hold, and now it just allows Adelos to surge forward on his own. Soldier's such low HP, and that's 2 melees across. And Bloking Hazard just barely managing to push forwards and break that hold. I really thought that was super sketchy. That Heavy pushed it up so nicely on the point with that medic, but unfortunately both of them just getting a bit out of position. Marv getting a bit forwards to one side, allowing himself to get spammed down, and that just opens the door. That Heavy's so crucial, keeping the enemies back, and did do a good job. That sort of Heavy solo for so long was great, but then not quite finding it to completion all the way, and instead that leaves Bloking Hazard now 1 round up, just 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, great play from Adelos to cut them apart, and this time there's a lot of pressure onto Adelos. They will have to be making sure that they can keep these players off of them. With the backup from some of these scouts, they are going to split the mid a little bit more evenly this time. Velo Gaming with a better position, looking for a chance to maybe put some pressure on with Prata as they jump up high. But they lose 2 players, as Frenchie even kills themselves there as they try to jump. That is brutal. And Bloking Hazard again win that mid, and frankly with a plum, this is not looking like the performance of the 4-1 that we talked about. Look at that aggression! They really want it, they get Deli. Matek and really goes hard for that one. With Cyanic on as well, that's going to be a roll all the way to last here, and it's going to be a last-ditch attempt for Velo.
Yeah, Velo now have a bit of time to set up an engineer already is Marv, but that was just such nice play from KO as well. Really managing to dodge that first rocket, and then just surfs it just about not dying to fall damage. That means that with Deli falling a little bit later in onto second, a nice little bomb out play now. Huge advantage here for the side of Bloking Hazard. They're looking to take this through lower.
Yeah. So they might go for upper here and on the right-hand side. Not quite sure where they're going, and keep an eye on Cheeseburger. If this shot lands, this could be big for their team, but the Uber is just there. It's not happening at all. Sentry gun is taken out as Adelos cuts off the right-hand side. Players start to spill out from the spawn, looking for a chance to try and deny here. Don't quite get much, but they do get Theseus, so they've got a player with Frenchie gone. It's going to be a little bit of that threat removed as well as Triple plays slow, Bevan plays aggressive, and Bloking Hazard, they take the point.
That's just Bloking Hazard coming with a really nice push. It's a little bit of sort of kind of an overextension for a little while, right? They're not finding the super early kills. You probably would like to find the Uber, but they do enough in just taking space with the Uber instead, and that means that they have control of the high ground. If you've ever seen any bit of Star Wars Outworld, you will know that that's mostly all you need, sitting up top, getting the spam across, the health just not there for the blue side, and that means that now Velo, they're down 2-0. This is going pretty fast at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Going to be some good shots to try and catch those players as they come out of Valley, but it's not going to happen. Theseus gets up onto that Tetris early and provides that space for their team. Look at that aggression. Frenchie really wants to make it happen. There comes the second. They do get a loss, but they don't get much more. However, this time, the demo is able to push a little bit forward. Dianic provides that damage. Bevan does not live this time, does not get to rat it out, and Triple is going hunting. You can see in the backline there, looking for something, wants to try and catch, but they've got too much space between them. They will give up mid.
He can be a bit of a nuisance here on this midpoint, though. The Soldier not going to be able to do that much. Has hit some nice rockets, just not quite finding them. Instead, Triple taking that easy 1v1. So it is going to open up the door a little bit here. You can see now Bloking has it sitting a bit far back. They don't have any positioning on the mid. It is a giant Uber disadvantage for them, but this is a decent amount of ground for Velo Gaming to cover, and you can see actually now Bloking has it playing a bit aggressive. You want to get this Uber force out as early as possible, and that's Beaver going in really far forwards. Now Triple going down as well. You have no scouts to run out your medic. You really have to be careful now. One soldier still behind.
Yeah, it was really nicely done to actually catch both scouts and meant they had to be a hasty retreat. You can see already those players are getting aggressive. Cheeseburger and Deli are just pushing them up, pushing them out of that second. They do manage to get Deli though. That was really nice snipe from KO. It does mean that this is not going to have quite the same force behind it as one would have expected otherwise.
This is absolute disaster here for Velo Gaming. There's still Matek in behind, might be spawn camping a little bit on this med. Frenchie wants to bomb in, but he just gets completely denied as well. The consolidation frag onto that demo, but everything else just comes apart. It really just starts with that snipe. Matek is in behind. He doesn't really need to fight that many kills. He just needs to drag them all back, and this is a free point capture. KO didn't pop the Uber. We're completely fine. We're good to go again here.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal, honestly. The fact that they didn't deal with Matek behind meant that that med goes back again. The Uber disadvantage is, well, almost complete here. Probably going to be about, like, 70 Uber ad by the time they actually push on in, but it's a pretty quick pace as they move on forward here. Triple doesn't want to get caught, obviously. They're waiting for Theseus to go for this jump that comes in now to provide that space. Some good rockets forcing them back into that shutter, and will provide second in pretty short order. Now, they're going to potentially move on forward. They could look to use if they want to get aggressive, but they just settle for lobby control. And now we're looking lower.
Yeah, we're settling for lobby control for the moment, but then you have this giant advantage that you can't play for. So it's just a scout solo straight onto the point here, and it's straight onto the gun as well.
Yeah, this is really, really brutal. Again, Adelos cuts them out from behind, and loving the positioning Adelos is taking in these last pushes. Really managing to completely gut any sort of attempt from Velo Gaming to really contest.
Super nice from him. Super nice capitalization from the rest of the team as well. Managing to take so much space on second without popping Uber is exactly what you want, right? And also, the longer you take, the closer the enemy gets to Uber, the more that Velo really have to play with. Just getting those soldier bombs in, forcing them back into lobby, and then capitalizing off of the advantage. Sentry gun not up in time for Velo Gaming, and now you're 3-0 down. There's 22 minutes left, and you're down so much, so early. It really has to start with some more mid-fight victories here.
Yeah, Cyanic is trying to roll for getting some good damage with those stickies, but it's just not quite happening. They will have to chill out. Theseus is behind! Takes down Prata, and then leaps away. They're worried now about that play. You can see Frenchie keeping an eye on Valley as the aggression comes forward, as the demo lays down that damage. However, with both scouts gone, they are now open. They are vulnerable, and Theseus is definitely far too far forward for this one. Adelos and KO are going to have to back out with the backup of Matek. They can't control here. Marv is just going absolutely ham. And, well, can't quite finish off that kill, but sure, pushes the rest of the team back, and you can see Frenchie is behind as well. This is really well played by Velo Gaming.
It's 97% Uber there for KO as well, just barely not able to make it out alive with that Uber. It looks really good in the initial fight there for Bloking Hazard with Theseus, just playing on his own choke, managing to get that early pickup onto Cyanic, who was playing that so aggressively, but now, with him just going down, the rest of the team too scattered on mid. With Velo Gaming just managing to regroup, they take control of that midpoint. Super nice, really late kill, about as late as you can make it. Kill onto KO, this is massive advantage. And Velo Gaming, you really need to convert around here. There's one sniper up for Triple, and he needs to find something he wants to keep his team in this round.
Yeah, but with the Uber, we're likely going to see a repeat of what we saw before. The Uber's pop, nothing happening, nothing doing as Cyanic looks towards, well, actually the left-hand side this time, really up close and personal. Wants to get rid of that sentry, but gets caught instead. It's Triple, rocks on out on the heavy. A lot of damage over onto that med. That's 45 already. Will they be able to capture them? That will be brilliant as they take down a swathe of players with Matek. And Bloking Hazard looking for a chance to push out again.
This is no demo man up, which means it's so much easier for Bloking has to push out. They only really have to worry about Frenchie here, but the soldier aggression comes in. Really nice rocket there onto Matek. Now, Frenchie sees an open door into Last. There's nothing here. He just gets in. It's just 2 players trying to contest him. He gets a lot of cap time, but is it enough? He's dragged 2 players in behind, but there's just no spam for the rest of Velo Gaming. They have to back off now. Big advantage still for KO. They just sit up. Gonna walk it through Valley here. Cyanic playing close with sticky bombs. They're gonna push it right in.
Yeah, really wants to try and find something cheeky here, and I'm loving the fact that Demo's looking for something greedy. A lot of damage from Adelos, but doesn't lead to anything. Not gonna get that catch. Velo Gaming, sensibly, beat a hasty retreat and move back on intercept.
Sitting for now, capturing middle. Ubers have kind of equaled out here as well, right? It's 90 to 80 at this point. There's a bit of a play brewing from the side of Bloking Hazard. Surely they've been counting Ubers enough. This is early damage on KO as well, who now has to play this super passively in Cafe for fear of that bombing in Soldier. Just come forward. Get a bit of spam on him, but it's not that much. Instead, he's just Matek bombing in. Hits it. The horse rook.
That was absolutely beautiful coming out from Matek yet again, providing so much value for Bloking Hazard, who have left. They're not contesting. They're making sure they retain their Uber. And they're now looking for a chance to maybe move back forward, wait for Matek to spawn, and then it's go time. Oh, Prata moves forward aggressively, but doesn't manage to find it. KO with a really good strength.
Yeah, that's nice from KO. Really, really scary situation for them there. They have this massive advantage, really want to use it. Get in through Cafe for now. It is a pretty far back Velo. It's kind of relying on the stickies out of Cyanic for the moment. Some push it up towards Valley as well. Might just about the kill onto Beaver. No, they don't. Debts onto nothing, and this is now 60% for the side of Delhi. Not quite enough of what you want, but the sniper is up, and you have to delay this pop a little bit. Looks like Adelos just wants this in through top, and they're just bombing right in onto the sniper.
Yeah, gonna cut them off pretty easy, make sure you get rid of that sentry, and again, Adelos looking down that back row, trying to make something happen, but good kills onto Matek, good kill onto Triple. That's exactly what you're looking for from Cheeseburger here, as they will be able to get some good shots down and actually chase out that medic. Will eventually finish him off, and that's exactly what Velo Gaming desperately needed.
Yeah, really super nice early kills there in that fight, winning them in the end, but it is a bit scary still. There was a moment where just a couple extra hidden shots there for the side of Bloking Hazard. They probably would have had a decent shout to taking a round. Instead, it is both medics dying, which means that we are just seeing a bit of a chaos fight here. Soldier unable to be skyboxed as Matek does fall in lower here. But this is a sniper up the side of Triple. You have to be so careful now trying to push this in through Valley. I don't think they're aware.
Oh, Prata is going to be potentially peeking out. No, it does just spam away. I thought that might have been a bomb coming through, but a lot of space gained by the side of Bloking Hazard to make sure they don't fall to that. And again, setting up for this push into this, but that sniper from Triple is not finding anything and getting awfully low. Look at that there, but it really wants to find something, but Beaven cuts them out again.
French,
French gets good damage, but it's not all gonna be there. Matek does fall, and that does mean that some of the range they have access to is not so great, but it's still not a great position for Velo Gaming. They don't have the plays.
It's such a commit onto KO, and they just don't quite find him, and that means that now it's still even Ubers, right? But you can see just the positioning they have to give up in this trade. Spawners not quite here, as finally have soldiers back with them on the side of Velo to play around this Cafe, prevent Bloking Hazard from getting too aggressive. So Ubers are now even, right? And we don't see any off classes quite yet, but this is Sunshine's second, right? Surely at some point something will happen. That is one of the smartest things I've ever said. Anyway, at some point someone will sack somewhere, and then we'll probably see an off class.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the game works. You've got to find a way to really open it up, and Matek is a player who absolutely wants to try and do that, but this time does not manage to find the success we've seen before. They will have to chill out. As you said, likely to see an off class here. We did see the sniper earlier from Triple. That didn't really work out.
Just didn't quite have the sightline there onto the enemy team for the sniper to really be super effective. I think now as well, when you're up 3 rounds with this amount of time left, still 16 minutes left. This map timer, ball really on Velo's side of the court at the moment. No off classes coming up for now, actually. Vanilla classes. Instead, it is Bloking Hazard looking to try and peek over towards Valley, see if they can make anything happen. So far, it is just Velo responding in kind as the demo getting a bit aggressive. Marv just taking the fight, just backing off. We're chilling.
Yeah, they're not committing towards anything. No players watching choke other than Theseus giving it a quick jiggle peek. And I think that Frenchie can hear a lot of that, but overcommits here, gets caught, will go down, but trades with Matek. That's really big. Otherwise, that could have been the opportunity they desperately needed. Theseus is going to hold out choke as those sticks go down to really try and set the boundaries for this positioning. You can see Cynic moving off left.
Marv is just in behind choke with a flank, which is a two-shot to KO.
I cannot believe Marv found that and is still alive now. Marv is going ham. They lose triple as well. That was absolutely massive. I cannot believe, first of all, that Marv even got there. And second of all, Marv found that kill.
Yeah, Marv just walking in through choke. No one there to contest him at all. Getting that kill onto the medic. Not the end of the world for Bloking Hazard, because they do manage to get that force onto Delhi. They're still down a player, though, and that means that Velo really want to try and crunch onto this, reset that round timer, at least for the moment. But the advantage is not big enough. It's just one soldier down, and look at Velo. They're not going aggressive. They're sitting back. You would expect them at this point, right? They're down 3 rounds, 14 minutes left to go. You have that soldier advantage. Might as well send in something fast instead. Taking time to regroup. Now going in towards Cafe. It's Frenchie sacking in through choke. He's in onto KO.
Oh man, Marv gets Matek though, and does mean they trade back and forth, but with Marv falling, with the Cheeseburger falling, that is a brutal moment again. As Bloking Hazard, they stay firm. They do not overextend, and when Velo Gaming do, well, Velo Gaming feel the repercussions of their actions.
Now, fortunately, off of that flooded push, we're back right where we started. Both teams even Uber on this second point, and this is where being down 3 rounds gets so scary on Sunshine, right? Yeah. You can just run down the clock here as Bloking Hazard. You can keep trying to send Hail Marys through choke and what have you, but you don't have to have them succeed. All you have to do is keep the enemy team stalled, and they've managed successfully to do that so far. Bar some hero play out of Marv or any other player, we really haven't seen much the side of Velo to really keep them in this, and that is just Frenchie falling for 3 on the flank.
Yeah. And as you said, Bloking Hazard have no impetus to move forward. The onus is not on them, and they're just going to chill out. Now they're going to start to slightly move forward, and I say slightly, Matek just jumps on through and gets caught here. Likely going to be a reset again from them, but as you said, they could just run down the clock. They don't have to commit towards it. Nice attempt from Theseus, but it's not quite going to happen. Both those soldiers start to move forward. You were talking about that soldier advantage before. They're going to try and make use of it again as the players are starting to move now. Their scouts get beaten back. The Uber has to be used here. Adelos is quite far forward, but will be kept alive. They take some of these scouts down, but keep an eye on Prata. Prata's looking for a chance, but it's not quite going to be there.
It's such an unfortunate kill there for the side of Velo, just onto Delhi, falls before he can get the Uber off on his own. You can see Marv wanting to be so aggressive, manages to catch out the Demo Man a little bit unawares. Not quite dead, can get stickies on him, and now it's just Cyanic. Caught in no man's land, unable to retreat at this with the Demo down. 2 other players as well. It's a heavy up sniper from Marv, but this is a full red team already barraging in on your last doors.
Yeah, Uber's gonna come on through as well. They just have it, man. Like, Scout gone, Heavy gone, Soldier gone, and, well, 4 rounds on the clock for Bloke here. There's still a lot of time left in this map, but it's looking like kind of a similar scoreline to what we expected. Bloke really had manheld Uber's game.
There's gonna have to be, we're gonna have to get a yak on the red team here if we want to see a comeback for Velo, as he is, I think, the only player I have ever seen throw a 4-0 lead on Sunshine with 10 minutes left. And will you believe me? I've seen him do it twice.
Oh, man.
That's some food for thought. We're back on mid.
We are indeed, and again, Cyanic is looking for a chance to catch someone with those stickies, but they're just not landing. That gamble, that attempt to use the speed is not quite happening, and Prata is on the Tetris, but just won't manage to make it happen. Cyanic was unloading damage, yes, but no one's there to capitalize on it. Finally, Adelos does fall, and Frenchie tries to dart forward. Beaven just manages to survive, at least for a little while longer. Cheeseburger provides that space. They get aggressive with both those soldiers, and they root them out. This is going to be a brilliant opportunity yet again for Bloking Hazard of what looked like a good start for Velo Gaming.
We're going to have to see how much space the Bloking Hazard can actually take. They don't have a Demo Man to work with here. 1 scout down as well means that Matek is going to go forwards. There's decent damage dealt by these soldiers, but now just 1 scout on the point and Adelos respawning. You really don't have that much to hold on to middle with here. You're going to have to wait for Adelos to come back and hope that he can get there in time to sticky off some points. You can see Velo already re-engaging just coming right back in onto middle here.
Yeah, they really wanted to go for that and just didn't happen. Bevan stands strong, defeats Cheeseburger, and the Uber will come out. Adelos is saved just about as Triple wants to move forward and try and catch some of these scouts. Bevan is managing to just duck, dodge, and dive their way out of any of that pressure, and Cyanic is yet again the last player beating retreat, and unfortunately getting beaten up here. It doesn't go down, just barely, but it's not looking good. They're on last yet again, and pushing out of that, we know how hard it can be.
It's such a disastrous fight there, wiping everyone. That's Cheeseburger, nice little headshot, ending everything off. This is a 5-0 round for that headshot. The KO was nice. Fortunately, not quite enough to keep them in the game, and that's just another unfortunate fight for them, losing them the round. Ultimately, the map number 1 going pretty handedly in the side of Bloking Hazard, I will say.
Yeah, honestly, I was expecting it to be a little slower, as we normally see at Sunshine. We definitely saw that once it kind of got to 3-0, that Bloking has been like, okay, well, we don't really have to do anything anymore, but if they're given the opportunity, they absolutely will take it. They're not going to, leave things on the table. But Velo Gaming, we saw them attempt to kind of counterpunch some of these opportunities when, for example, both soldiers went in, but it just didn't quite happen for them. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of that came down to the fact that we actually saw some great scouting come out from the Bloking Hazard side. I really was impressed in particular. You may have heard me commenting on Bevan's dodging. It was really impressive on the whole.
I think it's we were talking about this a little bit, right, before the game started, about how this probably would come down to a bit of a difference in level of sort of team coordination. I think that's what we really saw as well, right?
No, 100%.
It's just Bloking Hazard pushing off better on their advantages, having better synergy as a team, grouping together at the right time, sacking at the right time, seeing opportunities where they had them. And unfortunately for Velo Gaming, they've really, like, yeah, sure, there were some individual moments from quite a few of the players, actually. Marv with a really nice flank. It's a really nice headshot from Cheeseburger at the very end. But yeah, unfortunately, just doesn't quite come together as a whole, and that's just the big decider, right?
Yeah. No, you can kind of see it in the fact that Delhi has those 8 deaths. It was really kind of the fact that Bloking Hazard was constantly looking for those opportunities, trying to catch players, using that combination. And it's not just Matek diving in, and while did have a little success, DC's is always there to back up. We saw those scouts come in to actually provide that pressure. And it did feel like Bloking Hazard were functioning as a unit. And I think that's kind of what we were highlighting there. Whereas Velo Gaming, we saw some great plays individually, definitely coming through in particular. I mean, we want to highlight Marv and just how impressive they were finding that med pick. But on the whole, they just weren't able to have that success because they weren't given the space to do so by each other, essentially.
Yeah, we'll have to see on this map. I'm going to be completely honest. That Sunshine map did not inspire much confidence in me that we will be going to a map number 3. Map number 2 will be Metalworks. I think it's another one of those maps where the mid-fights kind of... The thing about Metalworks is that you have such a potentially large amount of distance to cover, right? When you're trying to push from point to point, especially on that second, most of the time, you're not really in a situation where pushing in through house and that tiny little choke point can be justified. So you're pushing in through valley and alleyway, and that's just such a long distance to walk. You really need quite a big advantage coming out of a mid-fight to really effectively convert sort of mid-fight victories that aren't super dominant, but we are going in on map number 1, right? It really felt like the mid-fights were coming out of Velo just didn't quite have, like, direction, I think I'd say, in the same way, right?
I completely agree. And I actually think it's down to one major thing is, I mean, I don't think Cyanic was really able to get anything off of the fact that they were there early. And as a result, they weren't able to push forward very much because they were lacking that health. I like the idea of trying to reach that mid early, catch someone off guard with a sticky, with something, with some spam, but it didn't happen. And after the first, maybe even the second time, you have to look back at that and go, hey, what's going on here? This isn't working. We need to try something else. And I think potentially going for a slightly slower rollout, maybe kind of actually allowing them to move forward as a unit would have been a better way of doing things. And we did see them get closer to a mid once things kind of spread out, once they solidified the position, once they actually took a Tetris of their own to give them some sort of base to play off of, because it felt like they were really loose and very much stuck in choke, which is where they were often rolling out of.
It feels like they're just a lot of the times right throughout that map, they're really committing so many resources to try and get that kill onto KO and not quite succeeding as often as they might have hoped, right? And if you're sacking in both your soldiers, try and get this med pick, and you're not getting any sort of auxiliary position from it either, right? You're just setting into soldiers onto a low ground to try and maybe get a medic kill. The moment you don't get that medic kill, because KO can see a soldier bombing from a mile away, right? That's going to be the same on Metalworks as well. You really can play around it as a medic. You need to have your bombs sort of, if not like getting the medic kill, at least giving you some kind of positional advantage for the rest of the team, opening a door a little bit. Not quite finding that for the blue soldiers on map number 1. We'll have to see if they can do it here on Metalworks. But we need to see a bit of a step up.
Yeah, I do think it is absolutely in the fact that the positioning just wasn't there. Again, because they're not coordinated as the side of Bloking has it. They're not communicating effectively like, hey, this is what we're looking for. If this bomb doesn't work, we're trying to take this space, we're trying to move this and then move forward. And I think none was more important and impressive than that first mid where we saw Bloking has it really just pick them apart. They managed to find Tetris, they expanded out from there, Bevan literally ran across, gets a double kill, and goes ham for it. Really nice way to kind of open up the round, and was kind of, I think, a really good show of exactly how Bloking Hazard are trying to play this game right now. Get good position, absolutely let Alos get some good damage down, and then from there, capitalize it with their other players.
It's just a matter of the soldiers sort of exist now in modern TF2, right? To open up the door for the rest of the team, really be that space creator. And this is another map on Metalworks where you really, if you play that properly, you really can showcase a lot of how Soldier can still be super impactful, right? If you play these middles, there's the classic melee mid of high bombing just at the very start. Obviously opens up so much space, but even just allowing yourself proper control on these crates can give so much space for the rest of your team to work with. That being said, Rook, now I think we're getting into a spot where we need another prediction from, I think, probably both of us. What about you? How are we feeling about this?
You know, I had a little bit of faith in Velo Gaming on map 1. I was like, full 1, yeah, they can get around. But I think they let too many things slip from their grasp. I think this one is going to be a 5-0. I don't think they were able to shut it down, especially since their last holds didn't look super strong. We saw one kind of particularly good moment, but on the whole, I don't think they have what it takes to really hold Bloking Hazard at bay.
Yeah, we were talking about the last holds on Sunshine. Metalworks, the last holds don't get any easier. But so far in this series has not really been the case that this has mattered much. This is map number 2. The first set of poLANd qualifiers 2025. So whoever wins this sets themselves up in a much better situation to go to, which later on in the year. But we're back on mid. Adelos already dead this time.
Yeah, it gets caught out there. Really nicely done. Matic takes a lot of damage as well. Just about managed to survive, but look at that. Bevan went ham, took down French and Cyanic. No demo advantage. In fact, a player advantage now for the side of Bloking Hazard as they go ham for it. You can see Matic going, I want it, I can smell it. Really wants those frags, but Ham's taken a lot of damage. Deli will survive. They'll just have to take mid as a consolation prize.
It looked really good. That early kill onto Adelos. Super nice for Velo Gaming to play around, but unfortunately not able to sort of capitalize off of the positioning that Demo Man down affords you, right? You sort of sit back a little bit more, rely on your superior damage output. Getting that return kill onto Cyanic is so big and really allows for Bloking Hazard to win that middle, chase Deli all the way out. It is even Ubers. We can see them already taking Ali and trying to peek, or taking Valley rather, and trying to peek in through Ali. Is the Adelos moving a bit aggressively here, triple. The rocket from Frenchy as well, but it should be that for now. You know exactly how this plays out, right? You have two soldiers sitting in alley, buffing themselves up, and I think we're going to be seeing a bit of a double bomb here.
Yeah, no, we absolutely are. I mean, I wouldn't expect to see anything else. Maybe a slightly later bomb coming in from Theseus, and they will take down at least one of those scouts, but not a huge amount of success. Deli did just back off, and it's still that Uber, but look at that player behind. Prato wants to try and find something, will get that pack, but is really deep behind at this point in time.
Yeah, that is a bit unfortunate there for Cheeseburger, eating a double soldier bomb. Definitely not aimed at him. They do manage to get in the soldier right in behind, but unfortunately has not been able to find much of a red team so far now. Bit of a bomb coming in from Matic as well. Really wants to find something. Fortunately only meets his own demise. There's a kill across the board for either side. That means that we're sitting pretty right at 5-5. Team backing off back to middle as Bloking has, and that opens the door here for Velo Gaming to try and take their own house, maybe peek a little bit forwards. So far, not pushing in, instead opting to go back as both soldiers now spawning once again.
Carter has rejoined the team as well, so there's no longer that soldier behind. That pressure isn't there. Bloking has it go, okay, well fine, we'll just go back to mid. We know we can play the slow game. We've already seen it from them on Sunshine. They're very happy to sit back, chill, and, well, let it happen. Frenchie is going to try and take back a little bit of control of this alley, but it's not going to be for very long. If any concerted effort comes through to actually take that back, he's going to have to rocket jump out of there. Frenchie even knows it and actually just walks out rather than using the damage. But good spam coming through to try and keep them back as Cyanek also wants to make sure they can find something. As Matek goes deep again, Deli, well, peels off back into the house. And Triple and Matek both fall. That's a two-player advantage for Velo Gaming, and that might be a good time for them to move forward. And you can already see Marv is quite far forward.
Pushing in through Valley at the moment. It is early spam onto the soldier in-house, not quite being successful in those endeavors. Cyanek has to contest with some sticky bombs as well, and you can see Velo, they just end up opting to send in Frenchie, and they manage to get the force out.
We do indeed. We really want to push in for it, but they couldn't find anything. Instead, the Uber is popped back into them, and this is exactly where they want to find themselves. Did Velo Gaming. They get a good positioning off the back of that Uber. Frenchie was behind. Did manage to take Theseus in trade for their teammate, but with Adalos down, that's exactly the kind of trade they were looking for. That does mean they don't have any soldiers, but they've still got scouts. They can play defensive. Cheeseburger's taking a lot of damage from Beaver. Even gets taken down. Cyanide is caught.
Oh my god.
Telly is taken down. Cyanek has to back off. Marv is so low, and Cyanek, yet again, the only remaining member of their team from that fight, has to run away, takes a lot of damage, and falls to Beaven anyway.
It's like it's 2013 all over again. Beaven absolutely running through them at the moment. Putting up vintage numbers here on map number 2. Nothing to really do. It's just two scouts just way out of the opponent's league. It feels like a moment. Triple and Beaven take that fight on their own and set themselves up so beautifully here for a last push. It's 100% for KO now. Uber for Deli nowhere near. Just one at level 1 being built. The Uber's right in on last.
Yeah, you can already see them again trying to go for that back alley, cut it off, make sure no players can come on in. With the heavy gone, the pressure isn't there. Cyanek is picked from the air, and well, sure, triple falls, but these soldiers are just going to sit on point and cap it. You just can't contest them.
Yeah, that is precisely what you would want out of Bloking Hazard there. Taking that Uber right in onto last, making sure they found every kill they needed to find on their way in. Centurion not very effective. Heavy unable to hold on by himself, and that is just a nice little round on the board for Bloking Hazard. Not quite as fast as we saw in Sunshine, but still, ultimately, in the end, the fight that decided it all, so very dominant. Triple, even just running in and hitting everything.
Yeah. Middle's going to rock up there again. Sticky does go to the face this time, so finding a little bit more of those early gambits that they're looking for. Already double bomb coming on in both Butter and Frenchie. Butter does sit up at the top here, but with Frenchie gone, they have less threat. They still manage to take down KO with some backup here, but Theseus went huge, finding a 3k. And honestly, well, not going to save it. I think Marv probably kills Matek here, but making that fight a lot less problematic for themselves.
Matek being a bit of a nuisance running around the escape plan. Marv just deciding to capture the point. Matek actually hits one off the rocket, doesn't get the second. Marv ultimately taking a dub on that one. Maybe not as comfortably as he would have liked, but that is Theseus coming in the end. Cleaning up house there. Such a disastrous mid for Bloking Hazard, but Theseus in the end with the heroics. Getting 3 frags, and that kind of puts his team right back in it. I think there's a world there where had the spawn has been a bit different, we might have just seen another mid fight. It is even Ubers. Both teams up 6 players, but it is Velo Gaming taking control of house and now going into Valley. Potentially a bit of an alley push as well.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to clear it out. Cheeseburger steps up first. Make sure you're all A-okay. And then ready for any potential bombs. Those sticks up on the wall. Carter is going to spam a little bit as they get ready for that potential push. And already the aggression from Matek. Wanted to try and find something, but just no dice yet.
Instead, we're just sitting back, soldiers trading bombs back and forth as Theseus trying to take himself a bit of a 1v1 in-house instead. It's just Potato bombing in forward here through alley now, getting a bit more aggressive. Spamming up, and that is just a Uber popped straight out of Deli here onto the point. Counter Uber is popped now. Deli has to run back with these stickies, aiding him precisely in that.
Yeah, like 1.5 seconds add on that Uber, but didn't quite manage to capture anyone. Good patience from Velo Gaming and knowing that they have to retreat there, making sure they don't squander the advantage they won off of that mid-fight. Jump comes in. You can see it. Prato wants to land some of that damage down as Marv gets aggressive as well. Jumps onto Matek, but they say, no way, Jose, as they force them back in again. A great rocket onto Zayac, a great rocket onto Deli. And again, the soldiers of Bloking Hazard, they're going to town here on Metalworks.
Yeah, they are crunching right now. Just nothing really to be said for Velo. You can see the idea in that push as well, right? Just unfortunately, it's just a 1v1s and the sort of individual skill level now coming across as well. Such a better play. Sniper for Marv. The only real saving grace at the moment is going to have to find some kind of a miracle shot here. Does have an angle onto KO. Doesn't quite find the shot instead. Now it's just a soldier bombing forwards in through alley. It's just the rest of Bloking hasn't coming from. Quite finding the second shot again. Instead he's going to run into a wall. He falls down.
Yeah. Stepped here, Uber went forward so aggressively. Triple really wants to get in, does get Cyanic. That is huge, taking away the demo here. They can keep Idolos alive, this is brilliant, but it doesn't even matter. Triple's just standing on that point, and Deli cowering in the spawn room alone.
Such a messy end to the round, right? Like, you would expect that to be, this is a little bit cleaner, but it's just, like, that's not a super advantageous fight on second either. But they just kind of take it anyway, roll it backwards and forwards. They keep winning the sort of, you know, they keep finding the sort of isolated players, and sort of pushing off that tiny advantage, finding more isolated players, and just kind of roll that into last. Eventually, it's just Triple sat in a corner where no one can shoot him, and that's just a round on the board now, 2-0. Not as dire straits as we were this time around last map, but it is still really ultimately not much of a voice for Velo Gaming to have had so far on this map. We're back onto middle here. Both soldiers are high bombing.
Yeah, they're really looking for that aggression. Frenchie jumps forward, but DCS is waiting in the wings. Sorry for that one, buddy. DCS gets the pack, survives, but Matek does not. And with KO gone, that's not a fight Bloking Hazard can win. They need to get out.
Yeah, KO just falls there at the very beginning of the mid. Makes it so much harder for Bloking Hazard to take. Oh, we're coming in.
Yeah. I was expecting maybe to go for the med here to try and even out or something, but they just find nothing there. An interesting choice from Bloking Hazard, which is the polite way I'm gonna put it, rather than saying bad. But I think it was, well, maybe trying to just think, hey, our DM is just that good, we can just go for it. And they've certainly shown that somewhat here, but they're gonna have to go to last now.
This is a bit of a scary situation for Bloking Hazard. They're down 50%. Sentry Gun is being built ever so slowly here by Triple. Just comes up online now, and it's a level 1. This is a big advantage here for Velo to play with. Cyanic already setting up for his team, and it's just a scout soloing in here on through this platform, just running right in, trying to get that kill onto Adelos, but he survived with just 6 HP. Sentry Gun spammed down late, but this scout solo is not supported by anything from the team, which means the rest of the team from Velo comes in so late. The stickies from Cyanic, though, find a lot of damage here into the corner. Really scary now for Bloking Hazard. Have to keep this heavy up. Triple just sitting behind the corner. The stickies. Cyanic barely keeping the team up alive, and now the Theseus bomb maybe just comes and chills a little bit. Theseus trades for Cyanic. This is a demo down. I think they might be able to keep pushing.
Yeah, they certainly might. They managed to take down Cheeseburger as well. That means to get Scout down as well. So their defensive ability is really gutted from the side of Velo Gaming. That's why they're moving all the way back to mid. I think very sensibly so. They don't want to lose too much here.
Setting up on middle. It is 70% for Deli. You can stall this out for long enough, surely. 80% already. All you have to do is maintain this Uber up before the next fight comes out. Now 90%. This should be enough. Soldier is shot away. You see the aggression does come out of Bloking Hazard, but that kill onto Matek, I think, should shut that down right away. Adelos still has good positioning. Choose to back that off right instead. Now even Ubers. Both teams just sit back. Bloking Hazard retreat onto second. Have to see how Velo Gaming look to respond. Looks to be an alleyway play so far. Cyanic is setting up. Getting a bit aggressive. There's a soldier bombing in right now.
Sparta? Found some damage from the Triple there, but Isn't quite going to kill him. Does survive, importantly here. Eventually falls. With Theseus gone, that's not too much. Trade back and forth. They're going to be playing on point. Keep an eye on the rest of these players and where they look to play from. Matic already pretty low as KO has to lead through that position with a stick heading their way. They're going to have to try and fight this very much on the back foot here. As you can see, the point is eventually going to go the way of Velo Gaming.
Mal find a bit of an interesting flank there in onto Lobby. Almost managed to get onto the combo. Just unfortunately for him, shot down a bit early. But still 2 kills, right? It's Bevan and Matek both down. Triple can come up this heavy, but this heavy is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting here. Sitting back onto this last point. It's a bomb straight onto Delhi.
Oh my god. Theseus just keeps making it happen. 2K there with absolutely key players to pick apart. With the demo, with the med, with everything gone, and Frenchie dead too. This is a disastrous moment for Velo Gaming.
This is now just Cheeseburger and his medic his soldier brother forced to sit back, trying to make something happen in under, but yeah, that's just a disastrous push in there. Theseus with the cleanup makes it so much easier for Bloking Hazard to play around with it. Cheeseburger wants to go for some kind of a bit of a play. Able to find much now. Big advantage for KO. You can see them moving into Valley already. One soldier, Frenchie, up on the high ground. He's just going to get spammed right back out. We're going onto middle. I don't think that you can fight this as Velo. You have no positioning on mid. It's Cyanic in forward, but that is just Matek bombing across, completely shutting them out of the point.
I mean, when your soldiers are that far back, in particular Prata, you know it's just not happening. Frenchie even gets caught for overextending there. That is a real problem for Velo Gaming. They're biting off more than they can chew. And Metalworks is a map where you really can't get away with that with soldiers being so prominent. You're going to see Matek gets really aggressive, does get taken down, and Adelos gets aggressive as well, but it gets sent packing as the Uber has to be popped here. They really want to find this. They get the force, but it's a little later. They're going to have to give up a lot of positioning and a couple of players.
Yeah, unfortunately, Uber trade not quite working out in their favor. Not able to push their advantage fast enough. Once again, it's so much ground to cover on this map, and Prata goes down. I think we're just looking for another fight. No, we're backing off. Never mind. False alarm, guys. Everything's chill.
I thought with 4 players into the 3 that were remaining, I guess there was a player coming back in soon. In fact, 2 coming back in soon. But yeah, I think very sensibly they back off here. And again, looking at the second point, which is often where you can get bogged down in this map.
Sitting back on a second here. It's a trade kill onto Marv actually falling. Opens the door a little bit here into Ali. Both teams even Ubers, but this is one soldier just looking to bomb right in onto the point.
Frenchie
looking to get in onto Cyanic, and he does get the kill. It's a follow-up kill onto Frenchie as well. But look at KO. KO died.
Matek really wanted to make it happen back, but look at that. Cheeseburger does not let that happen with the back and Preta. They're going to be able to take the second back. They did have to use in the end, but that's not all too bad. Triple's so far behind. He does get Delhi! I cannot believe it! These meds are just getting caught in the worst situations, man.
This is Triple and Beaver just sitting around in the enemy lobby for fun, I guess. Running around, taking 1v1s, and actually ending up just getting the medic kill. So hard to play against all of these players, just constantly in behind. It's what happens when you don't quite have the flank under the control. Now Frenchie, back up alive, traded his life for that medic kill, does make it successfully. Now Matek falls as well. We're back onto middle. This is early spam onto Adelos, because they're able to hold on for now. No further positioning gained. It is just one Cheeseburger in onto House. Runs away from Theseus. Sat back on their second point are Velo, because it is a bit of an advantage here for the side of Bloking Hazard. Setting up on mid. Not feeling comfortable going forwards. This is a big advantage for them to play with. You can see them in House already. I think they're getting ready to go.
Yeah, they're getting ready to push out on that one. With that 50 Uber Ride, it's going to be easy pickings. Adelos gets aggressive, doesn't quite pick off fast, gets good damage, and will eventually make it happen. They move up, they take so much space here. They are going to have to build back on up, and I'd be surprised to see a push out of last here, even with that Uber Ride they're going to have on Delhi. It just won't happen, you know. It's so hard to push out of that last.
It's really has to be quite clinical here as we go in, right? You cannot have your medic be forced at all. And we're just right back onto second. I think they've managed to do the first part successfully.
Oh my god. They just absolutely pushed through that one. And the defensive positioning from Bloking Hazard is pretty solid here. They only lose those soldiers, but that's going to be back to mid right away. I'm really shocked that they were able to kind of lose so much.
But it's 2 players down, right? It's 2 soldiers. They're looking to keep on refining this. We have to go fast. Look at KO's Uber. It's 75% now. It's 1 cheeseburger coming in. It's just 2 shots. Theseus now. Low health bars on middle as well. But the health bars everywhere. It's so low. You try to keep this up for KO, who's 94%. But French is just in on him. Shuts him down. And this is everyone falling everywhere. Velo coming out on top. 12 minutes to play for here now. You have this massive advantage. Everyone falling. Complete wipe. You have to go and make this around here, Rook.
Yeah, man, that was absolutely brutal. This is the opportunity, if anything, for Velo to actually make this happen. As you said, they've got the chance, they've got the Uber rad, they've got everything they darn well need. Let's make sure they don't waste that Uber push like we saw before when they tried to push into the left here. Interesting to see there is going to be the heavy coming out from Bevan over on the right hand side now as they try to push on in. The Uber from the left means Cyanic can push on forward. Deli is separated from their team, but eventually will manage to put Cyanic right on top of Bevan. But Cyanic dies. They can't find anything. And Deli is going to go down. Slip up after slip up from Velo Gaming here as they just can't turn the wheels.
It's just such an unfortunate fight for them, losing these players. Those kind of situations, you really need everyone to stay alive. On a map like Metalworks, so much reliance on that initial push forwards and your ability to get space. 1 cheeseburger, 1 shot, that's a dead medic.
Yeah, man, that was really impressive to see it again, that these meds just keep on falling in the most dire of circumstances. And honestly, that really put a stopper in this game for the side of Bloking Hazard, because I think otherwise Velo Gaming were likely going to get rolled back to second again, if not for that. That was a really brutal failed push into last, into, frankly, a life-saving kill onto KO.
Wow, big advantage here. Kill onto Theseus as well. Puts Bloking Hazard right back onto their own last. This is 11 minutes. Plenty of time here. Should Velo be able to convert soon enough with a round? It is another big advantage for them. 90% on Delhi here. You can see them posturing around, getting ready to push forward. Level 2 gun is up, but the Uber coming in right now.
Yeah, aggression comes on through. They move through that back line, cut them off from the spawn. Matek goes aggressive and does take down Cyanic, but they've lost quite a lot already here. You can see those scouts getting aggressive. Triple wants to keep it alive, is taking a lot of damage, does take down Mark, does take down Prata, but that's just a lick of time. If they go to point now, it's going to be it, and Delhi does just that with a lick of health.
That's disgusting from Delhi. Just walks onto the cap, the heavy, sits above it, and that means that no one's blocking the point, actually. Delhi just sees it, walks onto it in the end. Honestly, that is just a bit of a mistake for Bloking Hazard, and now, all of a sudden, game's not over yet. Suddenly there's a bit of a lifeline here for Velo, who are not falling in the extreme fashion as they were on map number 1 now. Round conversion as well. This is 10 minutes to play for to tie this all up, and now Bloking Hazard gonna have to step up a little bit on this middle.
Good damage on Adelos as well, has to fall back into the combo, and we'll spend some time healing up, but Matek was in good position, does manage to take down Marv, and is relatively safe as well. Not going to be a lot you can really do from Velo Gaming. Their positioning is just too far back, frankly. It's a bit too defensive, and Matek cannot really, well, it does go down, but cannot really be stopped in finding that advantage early, at least.
It just speaks to the power of high ground, right? In a game like TF2, just no space for Velo to walk on at all, and this is kind of what you want. Bar winning a round, if you are Bloking Hazard, just slow the game down. You're up a round, no need to take extra risks, no need to push forwards. Matek getting a bit aggressive, but ends up trading his life. Now it's just sitting on middle, and you can see Velo, they're looking to try and keep this forward. Spam's coming across, but no kills found for either side. Soldier bombing, he's backing out.
Yeah, Matek doesn't commit too hard, and well, neither does their opposing number brother, not wanting to get caught there, knowing just how important that number advantage is going to be. Matek gets aggressive again. Doesn't get... No, does! That sneaky from Cyanic is so good there! And now they can play it slightly slower. They've got the player out. If they can heal up, they should be good. But Idolos is so far forward. The Uber is being milked here. Will use it eventually here. And this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for them. If they can get Delhi here, this is huge. 44 HP does go down. It's the only player they get, but look at that positioning. Cyanic is aggressive. Look at Frenchie getting forward. That's the pinch they so sorely needed. Triple falls as well, and Velo turned things on its head.
The health is just not there for the blue side, though. This is a really easy kill for Theo.
Oh,
He comes in, and Theseus just gets all 3 of his own.
Man, oh man, oh man, the patience from this guy. I mean, managing to really clean up a disastrous moment for Bloking Hazard. It looked like, even though they used the Uber later, they were able to really find something onto Delhi. They just overextended, get caught, and are bailed out by this soldier yet again. Theseus is looking so good here on Metalworks.
Yeah, the health bars on the blue team. You can see that they were 4 men, but if you're just getting that superior number advantage, or it's just the superior health by 1 soldier, all you need is a rocket to kill 4 people there. 3 people rather, and that's just so good for them now. About a 20% advantage here. Sitting for KO. Not sure if you could really play off of it. We are going into the lobby. Might be looking for something here. Bit difficult though, as one-man cheeseburger just up on the sniper. Matek opting for the spy as well. So we're going to be seeing a bit of a slower play here. These angles on Metalworks last, not the best. No, the headshot onto the scout. Doesn't find much else instead. Scout. This is a decent angle there for cheeseburger, but unable to find much of anything at all. Instead, now Matek on the spy, slowly making his way forward, but it does take some time. Manages to sneak his way to last.
Cheeseburger, very brave with how far up their sniper was, but Matek slips in behind and slits Deli's neck. They do lose 2 players, however. Marv is going absolutely ham in response to their medic falling. Doesn't take down their opposite number, so it will be still an advantage of Bloking Hazard, but that at least buys them a little time.
Oh my god, he gets another stab on the demo though.
How?
That is absolutely tilt-inducing, because guess what? He's out. He's alive. Not only do you get that kill onto the medic, which now grants his team such a large advantage, you kill the demo man as well. There's no stickies right now. You can see where this heavy has to play because of the threat of an enemy red team pushing in, but instead it is Matek running all the way back to swap off the spy, come back on a real class, and giving his team a much better shot at pushing onto this last hit.
Man, Cheeseburger is so anxious about this, just honestly spinning around on the spot, trying to find that spy. Just really very worried about it. And I think rightly so, when 2 of your players get dropped like that and the Uber is not so far away. Triple already moves forward, does manage to take them down with some support. Beam falls, yes, but the beam is going to be on Triple until they go down. And still, Matek is in a good position. The medics are fighting, they're darting around each other, but it's going to be Frenchie and Mars who hold strong here, who manage to keep their team and their dream alive. Deli falls! They lost here, but it's still going to be a decent fight for Velo Gaming. I think they can even push into second here. Marv wants to make it happen, but and he even takes down Beevan with that first shot going in. I didn't think he was going to make it.
That was really scary. Beevan actually hit a lot of damage there onto both of them, but just barely unable to find them. But now, spam coming across onto that point. You have to be a bit careful. Your medic is not here with you quite yet. Just does spawn right now. Deli is finally healing players. Managed to wrest control a second. That was a really good initial push from a Bloking Hazard onto that last, getting that early kill onto the heavy, who was playing a bit out of position, but just unable to get that final damage across onto that scout, honestly. Yes, there was a soldier up as well, but it feels like really Marv just putting out majority of that damage, and you cannot shut him down there on that point, allowing him to sort of clean up the rest of your team. At the end of the day, it's just a demo left, unable to find much of anything until those final little points of damage onto Deli, who now sits back at 80% because Bloking Hazard, for all their worth, they do not elect to push anything at all. Now there was a player as well, Matek. We're back on mid here.
Well, there's 4 minutes on the clock. They're feeling defensive. They're feeling like they don't have to push too much. Carter jumps in, provides the space for Frenchie to get even deeper, but takes a lot of damage. Does make it out, however. No one commits too hard. Beevan potentially overextends their Idlers with that support. They will actually take down Marv with the backup of Theseus. The Uber trade is ongoing, but it is going to be full position here as Prata moves back on high, tries to provide some space as Deli moves forward and tries to keep Jern under that under that beam to give them the support they need. They take down Triple, they get the space, they get back second, they need to play aggressive, time is not on their side.
Deli playing with fire there, walking into 8 losses, spam angles multiple times, eats a pipe walking out of house, and then eats another sticky trying to climb up that little staircase there by middle, does end up taking control of the middle point. but it's still a bit of a maneuver disadvantage. You do kind of have to dry push this. I feel like if you want to sort of take this to 2-2 within regulation time, not a massive advantage for them here to playoffs, to be honest. It's actually 0. Most disadvantage here is KO is going to have Uber before Velo get it themselves. They have to create an advantage for themselves. They're going to be looking to do that through Ali. And they're looking to do that with a Frenchie bombing in, with a soldier maybe perhaps overcommitting. That's an early kill onto Matek here. Marv getting aggressive and lower.
Yeah, Bevan looking to try and win that fight out. Does take him down and will start to back off. Does mean they're a little bit more open here. Cheeseburger goes down as well to Adolf. This is exactly the opportunity they needed. Pushing them out of the valley does mean that now that momentum, that opportunity, that chance for Velo Gaming to actually win this map, it's getting smaller and smaller with 2 minutes and about 15 seconds on the clock.
I have to find some sort of an angle here. It might just be the Marv sniper to do it here. So soldier aggression coming out through Ali. That's a really nice rocket there from Matek, connecting onto the high ground of Frenchie. And now door opened a bit for Bloking Hazard. You can see Potato is holding that house. Just repositioning from Bloking Hazard. You can see them. They know exactly what to do. Sit back. KO. The moment he's safe for this sniper, but Marv finds one kill onto Matek, and there we go. Uber straight in onto the sniper. Just find that kill.
Yeah, they are actually going to get to flash Cyanic. They will have to get out here. Bevan is trying to get that pack on the low ground as the rest of their team is scrapping away. Deli goes down, and unfortunately, it's looking like it might be an unfortunate situation for the rest of their team as they are picked apart like cold cuts at a picnic. It's not happening for Velo Gaming here at all.
Adel lost with some really nice pipes there onto the Cheeseburger as well. Just shutting down his attempt at getting in some last shift effort onto the medic, but getting that kill onto Deli. Just getting trapped by drop down, unable to go anywhere else. Adelos Spab locking him down on his lonesome. Matek taking a 1v1 with Frenchie there as well, and now Marv in enemy alley, and he just finds the shot onto KO.
But if they want to make anything out of this, they've got to be quick. With Frenchie going down, he's not looking so good. With Cyanic picked apart, but the sniper strikes again, takes down Triple, takes down Matek. They need to run. They need to go. They have to take second here if they want anything, or even a lick of a chance. 45 seconds on the clock. They have, I think, just about enough time to make this push into last. Let's see if Bloking Hazard could hold this and make sure it doesn't go to that tie.
Marv has to keep hitting shots here. Spawners are coming up. It's Triple on the counter sack, but Marv is getting a really aggressive angle.
Ooh, this headshot again, but it doesn't lead to the kill. The aggression early on here. Frenchie goes down, but Bevan falls too. The shots land, and there's the point for Velo Gaming. In the nick of time, Marv goes absolutely marvelous, one might even say, and saves their team.
That was absolutely crazy. Why doesn't Marv do that when he picks Sniper in my pugs? He just absolutely destroyed everyone. The body shot onto KO, super nice start. But then the follow-up as well, and that sends us into overtime. Going to a golden cap here, off of the heroics of Marv there in the end. Even that one play is not enough. He has to keep going there. Getting those shots onto last, finds those as well. And just completely on his very own, takes his team all the way to golden cap on map number 2 here.
Yeah, man, and that is absolutely crazy performance. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, you're just hitting your shots and you feel like you physically cannot miss. Marv having one of those moments to get, as you said, save the game. But I think it's an interesting thing here, right, that's really happened, is the difference between the two teams. And I think it's really important to note why we were seeing more success, at least initially, from the side of Bloking Hazard, is because their soldiers were really, really performing on this map. And it is a very soldier-heavy map. Whereas Velo Gaming, their scouts actually really delivered on this one. I think in comparison, actually, to on Sunshine. And I think it's interesting to see the kind of differences in the way they were playing to really make that happen. And obviously it required going on the sniper to actually break that stalemate, because the scout not so really able to push through so many chokes on this map.
We have to see what their response is now, right? They've managed to take one sort of, I want to call it an honest round, in the sense that they didn't have a sniper going absolutely crazy. Sort of those sniper rounds, they happen ever so often, right? But they're not that sustainable. And I feel like we need some kind of a bit more of a regular angle going to this golden cap. It is a golden cap, and it is Metalworks. So there is a chance one team shows up and gets wiped on middle. That's kind of the end, right? But this now, I think Bloking has it coming off that map number 1, right? That was a 5-0 roll. This time around, now you're a golden cap. What's happening? Might be a bit rattled.
Yeah. No, I really might. I think it's going to be interesting to see how we have that opening mid as well, because so far, I think overall, the opening mids from Velo Gaming has been one of the bigger weaknesses. They've not managed to find a lot. I think in particular, Matek and the space they've created for the rest of their team, including Theseus, to really provide the space for control over this mid, has been a game changer. And if they can't deny that, if they can't stop that, I think we're likely to see, again, Bloking Hazard set up on second and just look for their opportunity and again and rinse and repeat.
But it starts on that middle where, honestly, it feels like maybe towards the latter half of this map, it has been Velo a bit more in control.
Yeah.
Just coming in at the end, right? Getting those kills onto KO, having a really difficult time on these middles, right? I think if you are Bloking Hazard, you're really looking to try and keep your medic alive, because the early aggression from Velo, yes, it does fall off as we go later and later onto the middle, but you need to be able to stabilize that storm first if you're Bloking Hazard. And KO so far has been a bit of a victim.
Yeah, no, it really has been a bit unfortunate to see KO fall quite so much. But it has been down to some brilliant plays, and I think in particular, I've been really impressed with Marv. I'm looking to see more from this guy again over on the scout, and hopefully they're able to find chances to be aggressive here, and they have done the latter half here on Metalworks.
Need to convert it all the way here, as this is golden cap, map number 2 here, going in onto middle. Slow gameplay to start with, both demo men being spammed out, but it is Cyanic in on Valley. Now aggression comes out.
Again, Jonas moving forward, but I think it's aggressive this time. Matek and Adelos survives just barely here. Will be a player ad, but they do not have a positional ad here. Adelos takes another shot, they're going to have to heal on Matek having to provide that space with their very body. They take down Rada, they take down Cyanic, they take down a scout as well. That's exactly the opportunity they needed. You can see that Adelos wants to get aggressive, but just barely lives and hasn't bitten off more than they can chew, because that second is looking wide open.
Deli has Uber, but he doesn't have the players to really try and contest this at all. Rotating around onto Marv, but not opting to go forward. That's a really hard push to convince yourself that it's going to work. Walking into 4 players, Marv has hit absolutely everything for LAN to even kind of make sense. But instead now, it's Matek up on the spy. Once again, was incredibly successful with this last time around.
They are checking for it. Frenchie is aware, actually, so they know Matek is on the spy, and they're going to be like, okay, we know it's coming. We know what we have to be worried about. They're going to get that sentry up as much as they can, and they're going to check for it as well. Matek underneath right now, looking for a chance to strike as they step forward. Marv over on that sniper. Matek sees it and goes, ooh, I'm feeling it right now. Slips up behind. Deli is...
Wait.
They don't know. They beat him. Matek gets the kill onto the demo. That's the chance to pounce here. They force Marv back, and yeah, there's a lot of damage going down. They need to get rid of that sentry, but they do get a good kill. They don't push off of it, however, because they don't have quite enough to make that happen.
No, they do lose a soldier player there, which means instead they're just going to stay in lobby. This is really aggressive coming out of Velo Gaming. Actually, you have to be careful, because you can just get wrapped right around. That's exactly what's going on as Triple goes in. Gets a soldier kill for free. Not sure we'll see that much more, but it is a sniper super aggressive. Marv just barely living there. We end up just trading 1 for 1. But that's a very scary situation. The sniper gets traded by Matek, and now it's a 4 versus 4. Not pushing forwards, instead just sitting back. 1 second of Bloking Hazard. They don't want to commit with this. Still sit back.
I mean, they know they don't have to. They don't have to commit much here, so they're just going to chill out and wait and bide their time. Frenchie is checking for rolls over on the spy. Doesn't see anything as Marv remains on that sniper. Helos is going to have to be careful next time they peek out, as they've been, I think, toying with some pretty dangerous ideas, at least.
Marv still up on the sniper here. Have to be so careful if you are Bloking Hazard. Make sure that he does not find your head. He is peeking a bit more aggressively, going onto lobby. But it's only 40-50 damage there onto the soldier, and that means he has to relocate himself. Looking for a different side instead, but his sticky's just on that shutter door, and that locks him out of most of his sort of decent angles. Instead, now it's a lot of a team hiding around a corner here.
Oh my god.
Does not quite see. They're all sitting in this corner, crouching, waiting for someone to over-aggress into this position. But it's an early kill into Theseus, and I think just getting some spam instead here. It's one Matek. Just bombing out. We're fine. Nothing happening.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of bomb attempts coming through from Bloking Hazard that have been kind of ill-advised, right? There is a sentry there, guys. You need to deal with it, and they've been refusing to really do that so far. It might have been getting themselves to change. No, not changing class either. Marv still looking to lay down the law with the AWP right now, but not quite happening just yet, like we saw before, unfortunately.
Marv unable to find the shots for the moment, but it's such difficult angles for him to peek into lobby, right? So now instead, maybe gonna have to be a bit creative, or maybe just wait. Run down the timer enough for another minute and a half. We're just gonna go right back onto that mid fight instead, and I think that might be what Velo Gaming are backing on for the moment, because they do not have an advantage to push off. Instead, they're opening the door for these soldiers to come in. There's a lot of heals coming forward. Adelos getting a bit aggressive as well, but Matek still protected by that box, and it is just a gun being spammed down. This now is an angle for Theseus. He's going to bomb right back in.
Jumps on into it. Was not ready for the Frontier Justice. Really nice play there to take down the soldier who jumps on him.
Marv is up on the defensive spy.
Oh.
And he has managed to make his way pretty far forward. He's not behind the enemy team yet. But we're expecting a sniper. Might not be expecting this.
Oh my, I mean, can you see that? That's Theseus on the heavy. They are bringing everything they can to really take this one out. Marv is there. Wait for the decloak. I'm watching for it. Decloak comes.
Oh my god.
They hear it. They do indeed.
Unlucky.
Sorry, Marv. It's not happening. Player down. Heavy. Not spotted, I believe. So they're just going to move on in here. This is exactly the opportunity they need to try and push on in here. Uber goes through. They don't manage to take down the sentry just yet. They will plot it out as the Uber pushes forward. They actually catch Idolos. They've got to go quick. 25 seconds on the clock. The heavy brings that gun to bear as they move on forward. Gonna get spammed off by the demo, though. They're not going to get anything as Marv gets aggressive. Matic gets some good damage, yes, but they lost way too much to make it happen. Cyanic in position and cuts them loose. It's going to be the reset coming on through here, I believe. They decided against going for the cap. Yeah, it's going to be the reset.
Yeah, this is just the correct optimal play here for Velo, but that is such a weird push to Omidon. I think I like the heavy in theory, but it's just the wrong position for him to play off.
Oh yeah,
putting
for
him
sure.
in that tiny choke point, he's so easy to shoot down. He has no space. The heavy works really well if he has time to sit in a decent positioning and just shoot the enemy team, forcing them back. But if you stuff him in a choke point of his own, he really just can't do much. And as you saw, very ineffective, didn't have good sight lines. Instead, just gets shut down by spamming the choke point. With no follow-up shots from triple either, this means that we're going right back to middle. Situation entirely equalized.
Yeah. Just going to see how this one's going to go. As we said, Velo have looked a little better on their mids as of late. Good damage onto Cyanic, though, does mean they are down in demo. It's going to be chilling out, trying to, well, keep their players alive right now for Bloking Hazard. Keep that beam going. Make sure they can win the spam war, absolutely here. Even with Theseus down, even with Matek down, they maybe could, but they aren't going to back out. They do not want to contest that one with a player behind. Look at Prata, look at where they are, looking for a chance right now. They heard the jump, however. Prata bombs in, tries to take one down, but doesn't quite make it happen. Look at that Camille! The Uber is used there, and that is what they were looking for.
It's just KO having to pop at the very end. This is Delhi. Massive advantage here. And it looked really nice, but unfortunately just no high ground for Bloking Hazard means just have to back off. Now, Velo Gaming, massive advantage here, but it is Delhi forced to pop in through lower. They're sending this right onto Theseus. They'll find the frag. There's Matek in behind as well, but is Cyanic being picked off by him? Now no Demo Man means that maybe, I think honestly, Bloking Hazard might be fancying him themselves a bit of a second push.
Yeah, Beaven is so close there. Doesn't decide to really commit towards it. They're going to go towards that last, and now we get to see Velo Gaming have their chance at making that push happen.
Just sitting back for now. It's Bloking Hazard on their last, as they do have a bit of an advantage, but you have to be careful. Keep Adelos up alive, because Marv is just in, and Adelos almost dies. Marv hit a few better shots. I think that might just been a two-shot demo. Instead, Adelos survives for now, lives to tell the tale. This is an Uber advantage you cannot do anything with, right? Because Deli now already 100% of his own. And Triple is going to set up the sentry gun here, heavy up. Question now, ball very much in Velo's court. How do they choose to bust this last hold? So far, it's just Marv getting aggressive in through main as the one-man cheeseburger Apocalypse, who does end up trading his life for a Frenchie. Marv falling as well. This is a three-man sack who doesn't find much beside a soldier, prompting a bit of aggression out of Adelos. They're looking to take this forwards. To be a bit scared now, a bit wary, but there's no one on second. They can just take this for free.
Yeah. You can see right now that Adelos is trying to, again, cut off that house, while Cyanek is trying to play from the alley and provide something for their team. But they can't really hold this aggressive position, and I think Velo going very sensibly, moving slightly further back. Now, less sensibly, but definitely an opportunity for them to open things up is Marv over on this sniper. Now, if they can make it work, it's sensible as anything, but it can be risky. Especially, you can see right here, look at where this soldier is. Matek drops down at a key moment. Triple doesn't go down. It's Theseus in the backline who falls, and they can't get anything off the back of that. Sure, they take a scout, they're going to pop the Uber, really catch that, but Deli sensibly waits, milks the Uber a second, and nooks their chance to move forward now. With just Cyanic, they might be in a bad spot. They do manage to not quite take down KO. Frienchi moves in at the massive moment to give their team that kill, but they lose so much in the midst of it. And Deli is low as well.
Incredibly unfortunate Demoman sniper double
Oh!
that just opens the door there in the end for a better fight for Bloking Hazard. Beaven fancies himself a bit of a 2v1, doesn't quite get it. But they do get that super late kill on the medic, as you say. Marv still up on that sniper, but KO survived that fight. This is an advantage for them. You can see them building this up as much as they can. The Devilman regrouping with his team. And it's now really scary here for Velo. They're looking pretty good, but then just that fight is so unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
Now what do you do? It's a sniper up. Marv has to be the only one who tries to find this fight, right? Has to find some kind of a shot in this moment. We're just taking alleyway. He's peeking this quite aggressively. Look at that dot.
I mean, aggressively, yes, but in a relatively easily defensible position, can just move up. And is deciding to change things up. Looking now towards alley, potentially here, and actually moves towards an angle into house. Wants to catch it there. Uber popped early here, I think very sensibly, but Matek goes down to Cyanic. Marv, you're dead, buddy. Unfortunately, you were left to rot in that one. But that's an Uber that doesn't really achieve too much, and Deli is only 20 away from their own.
This is kind of a perfectly acceptable trade for them at the moment, right? You don't get the Uber of the enemy team. You kind of give up control of the second, but you keep the rest of your players alive, only really lose the sniper. And you can see them now. They can re-aggress him through this point.
Oh, Uber comes out, Rocket goes in, KO takes so much damage, is likely going to crater, does indeed. Brilliantly played here. And this is a chance now for Velo Gaming. They've got to roll this. They've got to take this the whole way if they can. But look at that aggression. In the backline, they're just contesting for last. Triple wants to make it happen, but with 3 players against them, it's not the triple kill, it's triple killed.
Dead for now. Matek super low in lower as well. Marv is hunting him, but he's low. Has to be careful because so is Cyanic. It's a bit scary here because of re-aggression. You can see from Bloking Hazard, they fancied themselves a bit of a fight. I think they might have been able to take it as well. No heals on the blue side, and that means that they are playing a bit far back. Frenchie is directly below the enemy demo man, but unfortunately taking 1v1 with Beaven. So that means that now it's 2 kills, no soldiers for Velo Gaming. It's an even Uber, but these are 2 soldiers down. I think Bloking has it. They might fancy themselves at least a bit of a sack attempt, right? You're coming in, you have these 2 soldiers, you're just going right in.
They have 20 Uber. I don't think they're going to make much of it. Stickies go in. Cyanic is trapped. Takes a lot of damage here. Does go down. One-man cheeseburger at least manages to trade a player back, but falls themselves. You can see here that Triple is trying to keep alive. Med moves slightly further back. KO does not want to get caught. With Triple gone, that's both scouts off the board, meaning that quick count time is not quite there. Frenchie and Marv want to make it happen. The Uber comes on out. They cut away one. Prata is behind as the Uber is dropped for a second. It was a bait. The Sticky are not happening. Damage coming out from Matek as they are behind right now. They move away from it. He clears the Sticky. Matek makes it happen, and with a minute 45 on the clock, Bloke win the golden cap.
Matek in the end there. In the behind, on the flank, gets the double kill 1 rocket, then follows it up as well. This Sticky's on that point, millimeters away from falling there, but just clutches up, gets that 3K on the point. Such a slow fight. Off of that double soldier advantage, and Bloking Hazard just commit, manage to play it out, get that uber charge out of their team with that tiny advantage, and it is just enough to send them victorious through round number 1, pushing themselves just that little bit closer to showing up to Wooch here in March. That was a much closer and a much better watch than game number 1 here at Metalworks.
For sure. I really didn't expect Velo Gaming to have any sort of the gumption that we saw from them here. Brilliantly played to bring it back to that golden cap in particular. Kudos to Marv for that sniper play. But, I mean, and even nearly taking it in the golden cap, taking us to that map 3. But in the end, Bloking Hazard, as we said before, are a team with a lot more experience together, and it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, just in those finals moments, right? It was kind of the story of the whole series. We saw that just, in the end, through that team cohesion, you can take better fights. You can take fights up to smaller advantage, play off them better, get positional advantages, use those to win fights. And when normally, I think, lesser teams, you get that double soldier 2K, but you might just turn it into a sack instead of an all-out last push. Bloking Hazard able to go in, recognize that they probably also have a bit of advantage, ride it out, and manage to convert the round. But commiserations there to Velo Gaming, managed to make it a lot closer here on map number 2 of Metalworks. Big heroics out of individual players as well. We're going to have to see what lies in store for them. Of course, their journey not over quite yet. Not the best start in the world, but certainly it doesn't have to be over.
Yeah, no, it certainly doesn't. And with performances that we've seen from them, in some of those kind of really impressive moments, I think they definitely could show up. I mean, as I said before, I'm highlighting Marv just because of how awesome those sniper plays, but on the whole, had a pretty solid performance on the scout. Was able to provide a lot for their team, was able to really open things up. I love the aggression from Velo Gaming as well, and it was matched by Bloking Hazard, especially here in Metalworks. It was a messy game, but definitely a really fun one to watch.
Have to see what's in store for them coming in through the next round. Of course, this is just round number 1 of a group stage that might be really long. It depends. We'll sort of bring you these games as they come. Of course, TF2 starting up very, very soon as well. If you're curious about TF2, perhaps some poLANd as well, do remember that on Thursday we'll have another game, and then on Friday we're doing a round of essential intelligence, where me and not Steven, and then a lot of Prem players, as many as I realistically could fit onto an OBS overlay, as told by JMax, we will be talking all about what's coming up. I have to see if Bloking Hazard make their way to poLANd. I think, honestly, in my world, they probably will. They're a bit of a shoo-in for those last little spots. I think these guys are better than most people will give them credit for, to be honest. But yeah, of course, that means that Thursday, stuff to watch here on TFTV, or not TFTV, Essentials. And then, Friday, Essentials again. You're going to have to listen to me if you want to do that on Friday. Saturday, there's another game coming as well. You got a lot of TF2 all of a sudden. We're back from the winter break.
Yeah, we've been hibernating, but there's a lot more to come. And obviously with the ETF2L season coming, it's certainly not going to stop. So definitely subscribe if you haven't. Follow, even not subscribe. It's not YouTube, my bad. Yeah, and keep an eye on all of our socials, which you can see below as well. Thank you very much to, obviously my co-caster, Mando. And also JMax for helping us run today. That has been us for today, but as I said, more coming your way later in the week. So, well, see you back here.